Welcome back to Sports for Casuals episode 5. On today's episode, we're going to be going over the crazy weekend that we had in college football. We are also going to talk about next week's slate like Miami, FSU, and BAMA, Vanderbilt. Then we're also going to talk some NFL. We are going to talk about the weekend that we just had there, Chiefs, Ravens, some of the big breakdowns from that game. And we also are going to talk about next week's big game. So that is the layout for this episode. I'm super pumped up. This is going to be the best one yet. If you guys are new here, make sure to click that subscribe button, share it. I really would appreciate it. Follow the socials. That would mean the absolute world to me. But let's get into it right now. Let's talk about last week for college football. All right, Friday night. We got to start Friday night, FSU losing to Virginia in double overtime. Crazy game, one of the craziest field rushes that we've ever seen. My key takeaways from this game is FSU's offense is completely fine. When you look at that game, you cannot blame FSU's offense. Yeah, they turned the ball over a couple times in key situations. Thomas Castellanos threw 2 picks. I think they fumbled. But when you look at that game, the offense put up, 38 points? That is not their fault whatsoever. If they scored 38 points, they should win that game 10 out of 10 times. So that is my big takeaway from the offense side of the ball. Defensively, FSU's defense was terrible. They let them convert too many third downs, too many unnecessary penalties, and too many just big chunk plays on the ground. They ran the ball 12 out of 13 times on one drive, and they were just able to gash them for 75 yards, control the clock. That is just ridiculous against Virginia. How are you supposed to compete at the top of the top if you can't even, hang with Virginia's trenches? FSU's game is this. FSU wants to control the line of scrimmage, especially on offense, which they have been able to do. They've been able to control the line of scrimmage against Alabama and Virginia. The other two games I don't care about. Kent State is like you put my little Pee Wee team out there. I'm sorry, but it's not the best competition when you're trying to win ACC championship. So when you look at that, you see that the level of competition really wasn't there after the Alabama game. So maybe just catching back up to speed, but they definitely struggled on the defensive line and the linebacker unit. Those units struggled. The offensive line was completely fine, but and a backup Virginia offensive line, by the way. So you look at that and you're like, all right, that's definitely not good, especially when you're going against a Miami team that we'll talk about in a little. But that's just not good. Thomas Castellanos played a solid game, and FSU was just caught looking ahead, in my opinion, towards their big game next week against Miami. Now, we're going to talk some Bama, Georgia. I know it sounds crazy, but I think that Georgia lost this game more than Bama won this game. All right, let me talk about this. Let me talk about this really quick. So, 14-0 first quarter. Georgia comes back. Alabama, it's 24-14 at halftime, right? Georgia scores, makes it 21-24. The game looks like it's going to go Georgia. It looks like all the momentum's going back with Georgia. They're going to come back like they did last year, but they're going to finish the job, right? Wrong. They shoot themselves in the foot. They drop a long bomb for a touchdown. And then on 4th and 1, when they have a chance to tie the game up, when you're down all game, you have a chance to even up the game, Kirby Smart decides to go for it with his backup running back. Hurry up. Not even giving him a chance for the officials to spot the ball. Very dumb decisions that are costing the game. Credit to Alabama, they were able to hang on. Ty Simpson has looked absolutely incredible, for Alabama. He is, the 11 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That is a great ratio through 5 games for them. He has continued to look awesome. So Alabama, they have a guy that has just been phenomenal for them. Ryan Williams made some big plays. Isaiah Horton was there for them big time, and the defense was not able to stop the run still. The defense against FSU was not able to stop the run, and they struggled against Georgia. Georgia went away from that for some odd reason. I can't tell you why, but Georgia had some questionable play calling down the line, and that just really killed them. I think they shot themselves in the head, and Alabama was able to get out of Athens with a dub. But don't get me wrong, Alabama looked pretty good. I thought they could have escaped with a W with that FSU game, but they claw out a W versus Georgia. They hold on, and that is good for them as they have a big test against Vanderbilt this weekend. Now, we're going to talk another big game, Penn State, Oregon. Wow, what a game, overtime. And another game, I think that Penn State really just shot themselves in the foot all game long. They were really passive with the play call, and they did not let Drew Allar throw the football. And when they finally did, they were able to get chunk plays against a totally new Oregon defense. They really didn't put much pressure on Oregon, if I'm being honest with you. Oregon was pretty much in the lead for most of the game. They had no pressure because Penn State's offense wasn't doing much. Granted, Oregon's defense is a very good unit, but Penn State really did not open up the playbook until they really had to. And when they had to, it worked for them. They were able to go down, score touchdowns, tie the game up. And in overtime, Drew Allar made one mistake. The defense made a couple big plays, but they just could not get the job done. Oregon takes the W. You got to give credit to Dan Lannon and the boys, man. Dante Moore going on the road in the whiteout and taking down that team. He threw for 3 touchdowns, but a heck of a game. Got to give credit where credit's due. Dante Moore is legit as they come, and that Oregon team's legit. This is the best team that I think that they've had in a while, and this could be the year that Oregon wins a national championship. All right. There's some other big matchups like, Tennessee, Mississippi State, where Tennessee squeaked out with a W. But now we got to get into business. Next week, we have two big matchups that we're really going to highlight. And then we'll have two other games that we're going to talk about kind of briefly. But these are my big four games. And I'm going to give you guys my favorite picks for them. We're going to start tracking my picks on these. But first, Miami FSU. All right. You guys know, if you guys watched the show in the past, Hurricanes. I'm a Hurricanes fan. I'm repping Michigan today, but I'm a Hurricanes fan at heart. I'm a Hurricanes fan, so I'm going to say it out here. I think the Hurricanes are going to win. I think the Hurricanes are going to win this ball game, but I'm going to give you guys some reasoning. I'm going to give you guys a spread pick. All right, so firstly, Miami's game is the trenches. Mario Cristobal said it. They've recruited the trenches well. They have Ruben Bain, who's projected to be a top 3 draft pick at defensive end. Mesidor, who's been a top defensive end out there too. And they also have a very solid front seven. And their game on defense is to stop the run and give their cornerbacks some help, man, because they do not have to blitz. Their front four is so good that they're able to drop back 7, which really helps the cornerbacks and not leaving them on an island, and it really helps them out, and that's their game. They are going to rush to their front four, and they're going to make big-time plays. Then they'll send an occasional corner blitz. They'll mix it up, but they think their front four is so good that they are not going to blitz, right? And that helps out their secondary. Now, FSU's game on offense. We know FSU's game on offense. It's simple. They want to run the ball down your throat. They want to gash you. That's Gus Malzahn. He's been doing it with Cam Newton. He did it at UCF. He is going to do it here at FSU. He wants to gash you. This is the first time I really have seen him not have a big... obviously he had John Rice Plumlee at UCF, but usually when I think of Gus Malzahn, I think of a big quarterback. When he has his choice, getting KJ Jefferson, he had Cam Newton. He wants a big quarterback that he can run quarterback runs with, and he wants effective playmakers around him, and he's going to do that. He's going to make that work, and that's what he's doing at FSU. He's been able to do motions. He motions a lot. He'll do a lot of jets. He'll get the ball to the outside, which makes you hesitate to shoot in, and that is going to make it tough for the Miami Hurricanes defense. I'm giving it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck here. This is probably... I would probably say, I think Notre Dame's offense is crazy, but this is a very creative offense that has a ton of talent. I think Thomas Castellanos is a very difficult, he's a difficult matchup. I will say Thomas Castellanos is a very difficult matchup because he is a tough quarterback, man. He can run, he can roll, and he can throw it. He has a solid arm. He does loft it and throw it up at times, but he can make plays and extend the pocket and extend plays, man. He can extend plays, especially when the pocket breaks down, which I'm assuming it will because we saw Virginia get some pressure on them we saw Virginia get pressure on them, all right, against, Virginia. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk. We saw Virginia get pressure on FSU on Friday night. And the Hurricanes defensive line, led by a top 3 pick, Mesidor, who's going to be a top guy going out next year, they have talent. They also have Blunt up the middle. They have guys. That are going to put pressure, and that is where the game's going to be won, in the trenches. If FSU is able to assert a run game like they have been able to do over these teams, it's over. I wouldn't say it's over, but it's going to be a very tough game for the Miami Hurricanes, all right? If they're able to do that, it's going to be a close game. But if Miami can stuff the run and put them in uncomfortable situations, 3rd and longs, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, I have no doubt Miami will cover 4.5 and win this game. And I think that's what's going to happen. You saw it against Notre Dame. They were able to stuff the run. And Thomas Castellanos, they don't want to throw the ball with him much. They want to throw away with him at times, but he is more in reality. He's a big play passer. He's a big play passer. He's going to hit you with big plays when you're not expecting it, but they want to gas you with the run. They want to run him. So if Miami can shut that down and eliminate Thomas Castellanos from the game, they will win this game. It's simple as that. The offense, I'm not worried about. I think Miami and Carson Beck will be able to, they'll just be fine. I think they'll be able to gash FSU. They'll run play actions to Tony and Daniels. I think they'll get their playmakers in space. I have no doubt that the Hurricanes will control the time of possession, and they will control the line of scrimmage on offense. But defensively, if Ruben Bain and the defensive line can stop this FSU offensive line from, getting in there, getting their arms in, driving the pile, and getting all those yards on 1st and 2nd down, making Thomas Castellanos uncomfortable is the key to this game for the Hurricanes. And if they can do that, they will win this game. The crowd is going to be absolutely crazy at Doak. It's going to be a tough environment, night game. The Hurricanes are in for it. This is not a walk in the park for the Miami Hurricanes. Even as a Hurricanes fan, I will say, this is a tough opponent, especially at night, on the road. Being real, this is a tough opponent. But the Hurricanes can do what they've been able to do. They haven't had a road test all year long. Now they're going to Doak, where they've upset Alabama. But I think the Hurricanes are the better team. I think all that combined. But Thomas Castellanos is a game breaker. He is a game breaker. And I think with Deuce Robinson, the Hurricanes have not seen a cornerback or a receiver like that all year long. So that duo will be tough. I think that if They should be able to shut it down with Xavier Lucas, but if the Hurricanes if they struggle to shut down Thomas Castellanos and he's able to extend plays and find his big playmakers like Squirrel White and Deuce Robinson, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a very tough game for the Hurricanes, but if they're able to shut down the run game, I have no doubt the Hurricanes will win this game. All right, I think they cover 4.5. That's my pick. Miami Hurricanes minus 4.5. I think the offense will be fine. The over could be a sneaky play, but I just think the Hurricanes defense will force FSU into tough situations where they will not be able to score at ease. Now, going from that game, we are now going to have to go to Alabama versus Vanderbilt. Bama minus 11. I think it's a close game until it's not. I think that Bama holds on to lead the whole time, but I think that this is a big revenge game for them. Bryant-Denny Stadium is going to be rocking. I think that Vanderbilt has all this momentum for them. Don't get me wrong, they are a tough team, but they are going into a place that's going to be rocking. Dixieland Delight's going to be playing all night long. I think that Ty Simpson is the best Alabama quarterback that they've had in a minute. I think that they have weapons. I think that they are finally starting to get something going there, and I think they have momentum. If their defense, though, like I said in the past, the defense has struggled against the run. And that's what Vanderbilt loves to do. They love to run the ball. Diego Pavia can run. So if Bama can make him throw and really put him in uncomfortable spots, same thing kind of with Thomas Castellanos, they'll be okay. I don't think Bama is in any worry of losing this game, but I think that the 11 is definitely feasible for them. I think they should cover 11 points versus Vanderbilt on Saturday night. So now, those are my two big games. I love Bama minus 11 and Miami minus 4.5. Now, we're going to go to Florida versus Texas. This was supposed to be a big game to start the year, but Florida has definitely been disappointing. Texas, with Arch Manning, has definitely struggled, but I'm going to go with Florida plus 7.5. I saw Florida plus 7.5 today, and I really like it here because why? They have a defense. They have a really good defense. I think Arch Manning could struggle against that. The Swamp, don't forget about the Swamp. It's still going to be packed. It's still going to be very, very loud. Arch Manning is definitely going to be struggling there, and I think that the offense will get going off a bye week. I think that Billy Napier knows his job is here. This is his job. If he can pull off an upset, maybe he can buy himself some time, but if they get blown out in the Swamp, it's over. I'm going with that. I'm backing that. I think that the defense will make Arch Manning struggle, so give me Florida plus 7.5. I don't know if they'll win this game outright, but I definitely think that Florida will cover 7. Now, our last college football game, or two. We have two more college football games that we'll talk about here. Cincy versus Iowa State. Crazy line, because the line is now 1.5 in favor of Cincinnati as an unranked team at home versus number 14 Iowa. They are favorites, and it happened to me last week. I went on TCU. I really like TCU versus Arizona State. It's not happening to me again. Taking the home team, taking Cincinnati. There's a reason why they're favored. Everyone's going to bet Iowa State because of the number next to their name, but it's a trap. It is a trap. Take Cincinnati minus 1.5. Thank me later. Swarsby's a dog. They have talent on that team. They're able to keep up with Nebraska, and I think that Iowa State is a tad overrated. Rocco Beck's a very good player, but I just still can't trust it. I think Cincinnati, coming off a nice game against Kansas, I think that Cincinnati is ready for the challenge. I think they take down Iowa State in Cincinnati. Now, our last game of the week, Penn State will be traveling cross-country to UCLA, and this is a prime spot for Penn State. They have not covered the spread all year long. That changes. Give me them minus 26.5 versus one of the worst teams in the country, UCLA. UCLA is awful. Penn State will shut them down completely. The defense will not let them score, and I think that Drew Aller and the offense will just be able to march down the field. Give me Penn State. This is a prime get-back spot for them. This is a great spot for Penn State, so make sure to take Penn State this weekend. Now, we're done with that. We got to go to the NFL. We had some big injuries this week. Tyreek Hill blew out his knee on Monday Night Football, and Malik Neighbors tore his ACL. Both so sad because Tyreek Hill was finally starting to get together. It seemed like with the Miami Dolphins. Seemed like, he was positive. He was starting to make some big-time plays for them. And Malik Neighbors is only his second year, one of the most talented players in all of football, and he tears his ACL, man. And that one hurts. That one hurts to watch. I mean, obviously, I'm a Dolphins fan, too, so watching Tyreek Hill blow out his knee on Monday Night Football was definitely... It was sad. Being honest, I'm sad about it. I'm very sad about it, but prayers up to those guys, man. I hope they get better. I hope they come back stronger. But got to talk about the games. Giants, Chargers, and Giants, Jaxson Dart. So, didn't look the best throwing the ball. I mean, obviously, Malik Neighbors goes down, but he was running the ball. Third Lawrence, he was running and picking it up. He had some nice plays for them. He made some big-time plays, and he was able to control the game. He didn't lose the game for them. He kept the ball. He didn't force it into any tight situations. No turnovers. So, he played very smart there, and he made the Chargers beat him, and Justin Herbert was just off. He just didn't have it. The offensive line collapsed. Joe Alt going down definitely hurt. Their offensive line is in shambles. They may need to trade for some linemen because they are in some trouble up front. I will say they're going to get mauled in the AFC West without any offensive linemen. So, they have to do that because they were struggling. Omari Hampton looked pretty good. They have struggled to get Live McConkey involved, but the Chargers lose to the Giants in a very surprising upset, in my opinion. I did not think that would happen, but they look good. Cam Scatterboot is a damn dog. He's must-watch TV every single week. He will run you over. It's just fun to watch, man. He's like a bowling ball. He's like a bowling ball. He'll run you over. It's so much fun. So, Giants take down the Chargers. Crazy game. Now, looking at the next one. Ravens struggle really bad against the Chiefs. I was not expecting that. I thought the Ravens would win this game, but their no defense has really affected them. They are not able to stop anything. Lamar Jackson goes down, which is a huge injury for them. And now we are looking at a 1-3 Ravens team, maybe without Lamar Jackson this week against a Texans team on Monday Night Football. Or not Monday night, but Sunday Football. That's not a good spot. That's not a good spot against a very vicious Texans defense, especially since they have no defense. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough for them to bounce back. Chiefs, on the other hand, they bounced to 2-3, so, they get 2 wins in a row. Now they're playing the Jags on Monday night. Going to be a tough game because the Jags actually look very good. Liam Cohen has them boys rolling. So, shouts to the Jags. Shouts to the Jags taking down the Niners this week. Liam Cohen's a damn dog. He pressed Robert Saleh out of the game. That was funny. But, give credit where credit's due. Liam Cohen got them boys rolling. So, after all that, you look at another game. You look at Eagles-Bucks. Biggest game of the week, and weird one because the Eagles start out scoring, they get off hot, and then after that, they didn't complete a pass the whole second half. Like, all right, I don't want to hate, but, you got to be able to pass the ball, especially when you have a guy like A.J. Brown. Like, I'm just speechless that they win games without being able to complete passes. That's just dominance on their part, but still, how long can it really last? I saw them come back against the Rams, so I can't say what happens when they get behind, but it's just like alarming that they haven't been able to connect with A.J. Brown or Devonta Smith as much as I thought they would. It just makes you speechless. Baker Mayfield definitely sold the game, though, especially when he had a 1st and goal, and he just or 1st and 10 from like the 15-yard line, and he just forced into tight coverage. On 1st down. That was definitely rough, but the Bucs are still a tough team with a ton of injuries. If they get healthy, they are going to be dangerous. Eagles, on their hand, very healthy right now. They have everything going for them. 4-0 right now, so if they keep that up, they are looking to be the team to beat in the NFL. Now, okay, last game that we will talk about before we go into my picks is Rams-Colts. Donnie Mitchell sold the game. Sold big time. That was rough. He's a great player, Even to get the ball 75 yards there, that's a big play. But, you got to hold on to the ball, man. You got to hold on to the ball. It doesn't look that cool. It looks cooler if you're dancing with the ball in the end zone when you score. 6 points, 1 touchdown on your career record. So, there you go. But, it is what it is. Colts lose that game. The holding call also hurt them, too. Donnie Mitchell just didn't have it in him that day. He's a very strong player, though. He's a player that they are very high on, obviously. So, you know what? I believe in him. I think he'll bounce back, but definitely a brutal one for the Colts as they struggled. Now, the Rams are a team to beat. They lost to the Eagles on a blocked field goal. They would be looking at 4-0 right now. 4-0. So, watch out for the Rams. Watch out for them on Thursday Night Football. They will cover 6 points, by the way. Now, that's going to lead us into our next segment where we're talking about next week's games. We have a couple of games that we're going to talk about. Rams to beat the 49ers, -6. Take it. Love the Rams in the spot. Coming off a nice W. They're at home. Short week. I know it's divisional, but I think the Rams get it done. I think they're so good, man. Their defense is phenomenal. The 49ers have struggled. I think that with all the injuries, with everything that's going on in San Francisco, you got to take the Rams here. It's the best spot. The Rams defense will be able to shut the 49ers down, and I think that the Rams offense is so good. Nobody's covering Puka there. Give me the Rams -6. An international game. We're doing Browns-Vikings here, and this is a weird game because Dylan Gabriel's starting for the Browns now, so we don't really know what you're getting out of him. You don't know what you're going to get in his first start against a Brian Flores defense. This game screams the under. I'm taking the under in this game because you have 2 elite defenses, 2 backup quarterbacks. Now Dylan Gabriel's starting, I guess, but you have 2 quarterbacks in weird situations. The offensive talent is there for both teams, but I think the Browns will be able to, stop enough plays on the Vikings to make this a really low-scoring game. Don't know who wins, but I definitely like the under in this game. All right, got to get past that. So now, Ravens-Texans. Can't believe I'm saying this. I'm taking the Texans. Taking the Texans to win this game. I think C.J. Stroud is going to be able to bounce back against this brutally awful Ravens defense. It's hideous. This defense is really bad. So you got to look at that. And I think that the defense being really bad is just going to make it, unfortunately, hard for Cooper Rush to lead this Ravens team to victory. Lamar Jackson's been able to do so much. And I know the Texans do struggle against the rush, so I do think that Derrick Henry will have a good game. But I think that it'll be close. But I got to take the Texans here. I cannot bet on a team without Lamar Jackson. That has struggled so much. Lamar's he had to be Superman. He has to be Superman for them to win. What is Cooper Rush going to be? Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans here. And now, Bucs Seahawks. Probably the best game of the week in my opinion. You have 2 3-1 teams matched up. The Seahawks with Mike McDonald, who have just been awesome. Gonna take the 12th man. I know it sounds crazy. But if you really think about it, the Bucs are really, they've won with 3 game-winning drives. Like, they could be damn well sitting at 0-4 right now. So, gotta go with the Seahawks. Their defense looks ridiculous. They've been able to run the ball. The Bucs have a lot of injuries. They just keep piling up for them, man. And I think the Seahawks win this. I think that they are just the better team right now, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think the Bucs, when they're healthy, are better, but the Seahawks have just looked great. Sam Darnold has been awesome. JSN is just undeniable. Give me the Seahawks, man. Give me the Seahawks. And now, Commanders. The Commanders versus the Chargers. Look at the Commanders versus the Chargers. I know. Weird game. Is Jane Daniels back? Ton of injuries going on from both sides. Terry McLaurin, he's been hurt. Joe Alt playing. What's going on with the Chargers? This game just screams. It screams Commanders. It just screams Washington, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like the Chargers are really going to drop this game. Last week, they just did not look good. I feel like Washington will make too many big plays. The Chargers defense just couldn't make the big-time stop against a mobile quarterback. If Jane Daniels plays, what is he going to be able to do this defense? You got to take the Commanders here. I love the Commanders here on the spot. I think they bounce back against the Chargers. I think they are at home too. So that is a boost being in DC. Give me Washington to win this game. No doubt about it. Washington to win this game. And that is my NFL picks this week. I know it's kind of short. This episode has been kind of short. I've just been super busy. We're just speed running this episode here. And now, we got to go to the dogs of the week, man. The dogs of the week start off with Jerry Jones. Crazy dog of the week, right? Not really. He traded away Micah Parsons. He just stood by it the whole time. And Micah Parsons got a chance to get back at the Cowboys, and he did not. And honestly, if I'm being honest with you, the Cowboys have looked pretty darn good in my opinion. I know they are sitting at 1-2, but they had many chances to win that game. They also, could have beat the Eagles, if we're being completely honest with you. They've had chances to win almost every single game. The offense is absolutely humming without CeeDee Lamb, which is absolutely crazy to think about. George Pickens has looked awesome. That was a great trade by Jerry Jones. You have the pieces to build a solid team around Dak Prescott. You have talent. You have draft capitals. You have money. So I think that when you look at that and you reflect at that, yeah, Micah Parsons is a star, but you can put a bunch of solid players on defense that are able to contribute and make stops with that offense that you already have. This Cowboys team could be ridiculous. They're strong in the trenches. They already have the offensive side of the ball down. The offensive line is good. If they can just add some defensive line help, the Cowboys are going to be a team on the rise, in my opinion. You got to watch out for them because they look pretty darn good. Now, next dog of the week, Liam Cohen. You can't walk in a trap and take over your trap and talk shit like that without being you got to be on the dogs of the week, man. He walked in the trap of San Francisco. He took over it, and then he went to Robert Saleh and said, keep my name out your mouth. Dog. Duval has changed that man. Liam Cohen has to be on this list. Now, we're now going to go to LA. League leader in almost every single stat. Fantasy number 1 right now. Receiver. Puka. 170 yards. Touchdown. Game winner. What else can the guy do? What can he do here? What else can't Puka Nacua do? He's undeniable. Matt Stafford just makes these guys receiver 1. It is just ridiculous. These guys are just keep putting up numbers with Matt Stafford. And Matt Stafford is a dog. But don't get me wrong. Puka's a player. You got to give credit to that. And that's why he's on this dogs of the week list. Now, with 2 more dogs. We're going to go to college. Chandler Morris, Virginia. Taking down number, 8 ranked team in the country at home. Looking like Vanilla Vic out there. Rushing, I think he had 3 rushing touchdowns. He had 5 total, if I'm correct. Or he had 5 total, right? Ridiculous from him. played a heck of a game, was able to control the game. I know he had multiple turnovers, but he was able to make it. He made it matter when it mattered most. He made the big-time plays on fourth down, big-time conversions. Gotta give credit where credit's due. Most quarterbacks fold in that situation. He did not. He has to be on this list. Now, our last dog of the week is simple. It's very, very simple. Dante Moore. Going into the whiteout and taking down a number 3. Wait, were they number 3? I'm pretty sure they're number 3 in the country. Ranked team on the road. Whiteout. 100,000 people. Mo Bamba. I got hose. Like, come on. He has to be on this list. 3 touchdowns. He looked very good. When he had pressure, he delivered. He didn't make too many big mistakes. He wasn't asked to make too many plays, but when he was asked to, he made big plays. Like when he was rolling out on third down, had a big-time play. He was able to extend plays with his legs. He was able to just command the offense, especially in an environment like that. You got to give credit where credit's due. Dante Moore is legit, and he's the Heisman frontrunner right now. So, got to give credit where credit's due because he is legit as they come. That is my Dogs of the Week list, and that is going to conclude this episode. I know it's been very, very quick. This is going to be a very short episode, in my opinion. I know I can only talk for so long. I've just been super tired, and I need to get this one out here. So, fortunately, this is where it's going to end. I mean, I have my favorite picks of the week. I gave them out for college football, came out for the NFL. So we're going to see how we do. We're going to see how we're going to do next week. So I'm super excited, but have a great weekend, guys. I appreciate the heck out of you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to tap in, and I will see you guys. Thank you.